Okay guys, we're back on this last section for multiplying rational functions. We might not do all 6 problems, but we'll probably do most of them. So again, what's the main thing we need to do is factor. Sorry, I'm trying to make it bigger. Factor, 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 that's the most important thing. And here we go. Most of these are now trinomials that we need to factor or factor more than one thing out. So and most of them we have to factor all 4 of the pieces of the function, so it's a little bigger and a little longer, but not too much harder. So we're going to do the same thing. That's why, that's why I kind of grouped these ones together, because it was just a little bit harder on these ones. So here we go. Upper left, for some reason I'm in the highlighter, so sorry. Let me fix that here. Here we go. So give me 2 numbers that multiply to be 16 and add to be 10. Well, it multiplies to be 16 and adds to be 10. Well, I think that would be 2 and 8. So I've got n plus 2 times n plus 8. And then my upper right is nothing to be factored out of, so that's just n minus 2. Then we're going to go to my denominator, lower left. What can I take out of 5n minus 10? Well, 5 goes into both 5 and 10. So then I get n minus 2. Lower left, what multiplies to be 8 and adds to be 9? Ooh, what multiplies to be 8 and adds to be 9? Well, 1 times 8 does. So that would be n plus 1 times n plus 8. So now let's see if I can make a 1. N plus 2, nope. N plus 8, yep. And n minus 2, beautiful. So what do I get left with? My numerator, I get left with n plus 2. And in my denominator, I get left with 5 times n plus 1. There we go. And that is my answer. So sounds great. There we go. So now we're going to go to number 16. Okay. Before I go to number 16, I do want to say this really quick. Sometimes, it depends on how the form your answer is in. Sometimes you might see this answer as n plus 2 times 5n plus 5. So that might also be the answer. Just go ahead and check. Both answers are correct. Just look and see what form they want the answer. And if they want it all the way multiplied out, it would be this answer. But this answer is also correct. A lot of the worksheets and multiple choice that you see, it is this form. Sometimes it is, a lot of the times it's this form, sometimes it's this form. Just go ahead and check and see which one it is. And I just wanted to put that out there for you because you're going to be doing some delta math, and you might want to check the example, check an example problem to see how they want the answer given to you. So I just wanted to put that out so you don't have to miss a problem before you get one right. So giving that at you. So this one, it looks like in number 16, all 4 of them need to be factored. So we're going to start with the upper left side, and I need 2 numbers that multiply to be negative 24 and add to be negative 2. Well, there's lots of numbers that multiply to be negative 24, but in this case, I think we're looking at 6 and 4. They're 2 numbers apart from each other, and I want a negative 2, it need add to be negative 2, so I think that's going to be negative 6. So I've got b minus 6 times b plus 4. And then the upper right side needs 2 numbers that multiply to be negative 6 and add to be 5. So normally I would say 2 and 3, but those 2 numbers wouldn't multiply to be negative 6, but one of them would have to be negative, so that wouldn't add to be 5. So I'm going to say 6 and minus 1 in this case. So 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, and 6 minus 1 is 5. So I'm thinking that's going to work perfectly. So b plus 6 times b minus 1. And then my numerator, bottom left, I need 2 numbers that multiply to be negative 36, add to be 0. So I'm thinking that's 6 and negative 6. So b plus 6 and b minus 6. And then my bottom right, I need two numbers that multiply to be negative 8 and add to be 2. Well, 4 and 2. And since this number's positive, that means the 2 is negative. So I've got b plus 4 times b minus 2. So we've got all of our factoring done. Now I need to make some ones. So I've got b minus 6 and b minus 6. B plus 4, B plus 4, B plus 6, B plus 6, and that seems to be it. So my numerator is B minus 1, my denominator is B minus 2, and there's my answer. Good job, you guys. So let's go to the next one. It looks like most of these need to be factored also. So, what can I take out of 2n squared and minus 10n? Well, I'm thinking that would be 2n. And if I take 2n out of 2n squared, I get left with n. And if I take 2n out of negative 10n, I get negative 5. Remember, if I multiply this back out, 2n times n is n squared, 2n squared, and 2n times negative 5 is negative 10n, so that is correct. Great. So now we're going to do the top right side. So give me two numbers that multiply to be 16 and add to be negative 8. So I'm going to say negative 4 and negative 4. So n minus 4 times n minus 4. And there's my numerator. And now we're going to move to the denominator. So my denominator, I've got two numbers that multiply to be 20 and add to be negative 9. Well, I'm thinking that's negative 4 and negative 5. So I've got n, not plus 4. I'm thinking that's supposed to be n minus 4 times n minus 5. And then I've got 4n squared. So now I want to make some ones. So 2 goes into 2 one time and into 4 2 times. And n goes into two n's. I've got one n left. So n minus 5 and n minus 5 and n minus 4 and n minus 4. So in my numerator, let's see, I've got 1, 1, 1, 1, n minus 4 left. And in the denominator, it looks like I've got 2n left. There we go. Good job. So we've only got a few more problems left to do. So here we go. Oh, this one looks, I only have to multiply factor a few things out. So here we go. What multiplies to be 12 and adds to be 7? 3 and 4. So x plus 3 times x plus 4. And then the top right doesn't need to be factored, so that would be x plus 4. My denominator, I need two numbers that multiply to be 16 and add to be 8. I'm pretty sure that's going to be 4 and 4. So x plus 4 times x plus 4. And then the bottom left is just x plus 3. So let's make some ones here. X plus 3, x plus 3, x plus 4, x plus 4, x plus 4, x plus 4. What is my answer? There's nothing left. Well, that's not true because I made ones. So that means the top is a 1. The bottom is a 1, which means I equals 1. So my answer is 1. Okay. All right, 2 more and we'll be done for this lesson. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to factor the top and the bottom here. So what can I take out of 2k plus 4? Well, I can take a 2 out. So I'm going to take a 2 and I'm going to get k plus 2. And then I get this, well, let's factor the bottom first. I know. Remember when we kind of did simplifying and I said sometimes we can find what we need to factor out if we look and see what we have. So we're going to kind of look and see what we have first. So in the denominator, I know I have k plus 4. And if I take let's see, it goes into 10 and 2. Well, 2 does. And then I'm going to get 5k plus 1. Okay, so my numerator, let's go back to the numerator and this big beast right here. Let's go back to this right here. Okay, this one. So you guys tell me what multiplies to be 5. Well, there's only 2 numbers, 5 and 1. So I know that I'm going to have a 5k and a k. So if I know that, what multiplies to be 4? Well, I know there's 2 sets of numbers. There's 1 and 4, 1 times 4, and 2 times 2. But if I'm making ones, I know that on the denominator down here, I have a 5k minus 1. So I bet, I'm going to just be willing to bet there's a 5k plus 1 up here. And that means this would be a plus 4. Let's just check that. So I have 5k plus 1 times k plus 4. So how do we check again? We multiply out. So 5k times k is 5k squared. And 5k times 4 is 20. And 1 plus k, 20k, sorry, plus 1k plus 4. Does that give me what I need? 5k squared plus 21k plus 4. Great. Okay. So I just kind of use, how did I factor that? I kind of use what I knew my factors were in my denominator and use that. Okay. All right. So I have k plus 4 on top and a k plus 4 on bottom. I have a 2 on top and a 2 on bottom. And a 5k plus 1 and a 5k plus 1. So what do I have left? What is my answer? K plus 2. There we go. Done. Okay. Lots of k's in there. All right, last problem, and we're going to be done with this lesson. Here we go. Let's see. 3 and some 4. So we might wait on the top here. So I'm going to do this really quick. Well, I know one of them, 3y and y, because that's the only way to factor that one. And the top over here, top left, right, would be 3y minus 1. So let's see what the bottom factors to. So what can I take out of 12y squared and 4y? Well, I'm pretty sure I can take a 4y out of that. And what do I get left with? 4y goes into 12y squared, 3y times minus 1. Okay. And what about 15y squared minus 20y? Oh, 15y cubed minus 20y squared. Well, I think a 5 goes into both of them, and then probably a y squared. And that would leave me with 3y minus 4. 5y squared times 3y would give me 15y cubed. 5y squared times negative 4 would give me negative 20y squared. Okay, so so my factors up here of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. And so a 3y on the bottom either has a 1 or a 4. I think I'm going to try the 1. So let's come over here, and if I say 3y, I'm sorry, the 4. 3y minus 4, that means I'm going to have y, it needs to add, multiply to be a negative, so that would be a negative 1. Because negative 4 times negative 1 is a positive 4. So let's see if this works. 3y times y. You know, I'm just guessing here. So I just want you to know I'm taking my factors and plugging it in. Now I'm going to multiply it out and see if it's right. 3y times y is 3y squared. 3y times negative 1 is negative 3y. Negative 4y times y is negative 4y. And negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. So that gives me 3y squared minus 7y plus 4. And that is correct. Okay, so that means I've got negative 4 and y minus 1. Okay, so we're going to make some 1. So I've got 3y minus 4 and 3y minus 4. And 3y minus 1 and 3y minus 1. So what do I have left in the numerator? I've got y minus 1. And in the denominator, I've got 20y cubed. And there, my friends, is your answer. Okay, sorry this was the longest one. It had the hardest problems in there. Do your work on in both the Nearpod and the Delta Math. You'll only have one assignment between of this week, and it will be after the dividing. So you're going to go ahead and just do the work in Canvas. Please make sure your work is readable when you upload it. If not, I'm going to have to give you a 0. So if I can't see it, it's not readable. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.